What's going on, everybody? Today I'm over here at the Rusty Pick, looking at my legendary script, my caps, and my atoms. Legendary run is done. I hit rank score 100 maybe a week or two ago, and have honestly been enjoying not having to jump on and go through the challenges. I'll get into that a little bit later, but for the time being, I originally had planned to save my legendary script rewards for the purveyor. I figured that one day I would do a purveyor roll, get a bunch of, let's say, weapons or armor, and then after I've expended all my script, I would go through the legendary perk run, or sorry, the legendary run, and then claim all the different rewards, and then go for script, and then go for a couple other things. And I then found out about the 50% sale, and I thought that was going to work great, but then we found out when legendary run season was going to end, so I was like, okay, let me just collect my rewards before I wind up forgetting to collect them or something crazy happens and I lose them. A few people were surprised, and I guess I am too, of how patient I've been with the legendary run. I hit rank 100, but in the process of hitting rank 100, guess who didn't really claim a bunch of his stuff? And I do warn you, this is where the video is going to go downhill. As you're taking a look, you might want to go grab a snack, grab a drink, do whatever you got to do, and come back because it's going to take me a second to get across the board. The accumulating lag from the animation of not collecting stuff has honestly only gotten worse. There was a time where I'd be able to not be in here with this much lag. I would leave and I would come back and it would somehow kind of fix it, but it almost seems temporary. It's almost like it's just because nothing has started to move yet. Each claim kind of animation almost is independent of one another. Sure, there's some that seem to link up and bounce up and down at the same time, but I guess that is just way, way too much for this board to handle. So my suggestion right now, if you were like me and thought, okay, maybe I can save up script, maybe I can save up, not necessarily atoms, but caps, because I play on a couple different characters, and I figured, you know what? If I need an emergency stash of caps for whatever situation, I can hop onto that character, claim the atom or the caps, claim the script, and then I'll have, more, and then I'll just have a backup. And then I'm not really hurting on atoms, so I didn't need to rush into claiming the atoms. Another thing that I've kind of missed out on is lunchboxes, but I'm very grateful for us in our community running different events and people popping their lunchboxes. I do know not everybody has as much time as some of us to hop onto the game, and they try to get their lunchboxes popped so they can get the full advantage of that. But I would say if you do have multiple lunchboxes and you can use them a little more sparingly, definitely consider hanging on to them for double XP weekends because that's really going to help you get the most out of your XP gains. As you see here, though, I have started to claim some stuff. So I can't say that I have gone the entire season without collecting 100 ranks. If it's the first, 7 or so that I've collected, okay, so I have 93 more ranks to collect. Again, I'm going to try to go through this in such a manner that it hopefully won't take an hour, but like I said, grab your snacks, grab a drink, because it might be a minute. Holy frame rate drop at, man. Okay, so let's claim whatever we can. I'm very excited to get a lot of these things. I considered getting the supply packages on my lower level character, and then getting things like caps and the script on the higher level characters where I'm doing more transactions between trades and the purveyor and trying to get certain roles. But at this point, there would be no way for me to efficiently grab so many things, hop to a different character, collect it over there. I don't know if at some point maybe Legendary Run can be something accessed at the main menu and you can choose where certain items go. That'd be pretty cool. It is at the main menu, and I've yet to really take too much of a look into the main menus version of the lag. It looks the same as this. I mean, I know I'm in the game and there's like technically two things going on independent of each other, but I would still say that this is a pretty bad like frame rate drop we're getting here. But let's see if it gets better over time. And now I'm starting this with like 5,600 or so atoms. I don't actually know the cumulative amount of atoms, caps, script you're getting from this. I do know that it seemed like script was like 650 or something like that. So I am actually at the rusty pick because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have close to 1,000 script. I didn't want to go above and beyond and then miss out on anything. And this has also been a test of my patience, we'll call it. And here we go, legendary script too. Yeah, perfect. Lunchboxes. I'm gonna get a bunch of lunchboxes from all this. Stars wallpaper I was really happy about. So far there's really nothing in terms of Atom Shop up to this point that I really care too much about, except one of the very first things, and that's why I was very eager to collect it. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, the clean sink. Oh yeah. Even on like let's say a different gamer tag I use, I've made sure that I've at least gotten to like the ammo converter, and then I was like, okay, whatever, I don't get after that, I don't really mind. And then in terms of going back to me saying a test of patience or how much patience I might have, it's people are surprised that it's taken me this long to claim these things. Honestly, I would say I had a plan in mind originally, and unfortunately it didn't work out as well because of when the season's ending and how I plan to do my purveyor roles and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that I'm at 1,000 script, and then when the purveyor 50% sale kicks off as a reward from the donation of leather, which is currently going on. And I'm speaking of this very confidently and highly because we've smashed every other goal, and I do not see us not taking advantage of that. People that want to script, or sorry, like get, twice as much out of their script. People who are looking specifically for those types of sales are going to come out of the shadows, even if they haven't been donating to some of the other events. I'm not gonna lie, I have not donated to every single Atlas event that's popped up. I've donated to a few of them, and I'm definitely going to be donating leather. Make sure that I've done my part because I want to make sure that I get that sale. Twice as much of anything, that's going to be great, and this will be a future video. I'll have at least 4,000 script. I don't know what the plan is just yet, but if I go through and let's say 4,000 script on a normal day would be 40 weapons. I could turn that into 80 3-star weapons. I could turn that into 160 2-star weapons because it would be double that. And then if I'm saying 160, I think armor would be somewhere in that ballpark too. Don't know if I'm going to mix and match or what the theme's going to be yet, but I'll say keep an eye out on that at least, and then should be one of my upcoming videos. Also, heads up, as I'm claiming this, the Atomic Onslaught paint, I do like some of the paints that they're adding, but me personally, I do not use power armor. I'll eventually have to, especially with one wasteland kind of lurking around the corner, but at least for my one heavy guns character. A lot of this looks nice, but it's not super useful for me at this moment in time. The ghillie armor and all that, I've seen a lot of people use that in Nuclear Winter. But I've been using the Charlie the Moo Moo mask because I am not a bush Wookiee. I'm not trying to hide in bushes. I would actually like to stand directly straight and tall in a bush with my two-headed Brahmin mask. Just so I can say, hey, look over here. I'll definitely say I've seen an increase of people using ghillie and hiding in the bushes with literally no weapons or anything useful in hand after so many minutes of the game being live, so it's bush Wookiee hunting season, guys. Scrap kits. Yeah, I gotta see how many scrap kits and other things that I get that end up in my inventory because, like, I don't really use the scrap kit. Anytime we've gotten free scrap kits from whatever event, or if you wind up purchasing one of the bundles and you get some free scrap kits along with that bundle, I would say it's it's worth keeping an eye on, I guess, future bundles as well, seeing what else we get. But like, I don't have a huge use for scrap kits. I think I've always learned the struggle to, like, even if you're 4 times your carry weight. You just crawl from one part of the map to the next. Remember when scrap kits came out, there was a big kind of argument about it. And here's the thing, you don't need to buy these. If somebody's out there and really wants to buy these and you want to call that pay to win, that's a very interesting statement. I would say there's a lot of things that happen in Fallout that are not just one way or another. I always try to ride a middle line of taking as much criticism and seeing where it comes from and how it can be applied moving forward. So if somebody says something like, oh, scrap kits or repair kits or anything like that are pay to win, it's like you don't really need to buy these things. And it doesn't really make a huge advantage. And when people say pay to win, things like that, I think of pay to win on a competitive level. I think people using their wallet warrior abilities to increase their DPS or something like that, or really changing the way how the game is played, that's kind of like pay to win. Somebody that decides to go spend, $5-10 on repair kits instead of receiving them as rewards from various events, whether it's like the Scorch Beast Queen, the Encrypted, things like that. That's on them, I guess, but never really looked at that as a pay-to-win thing. I'm not supporting it. I'm not buying it. It's like I said, I get them through other means, but... And then also with them making these seasonal challenge boards, we're getting these things as rewards too. So it's like, if you don't want to pay for something, you can quite literally just do the events and get them over time. I haven't claimed any of these again, so I can kind of show off a bunch of these all at once. I do know there was data mine versions of each of the images and stuff, but kind of going through and claiming these now has made me appreciate what they put into the season, because going back to me saying it's the whole not pay to win for certain things, they're giving you a lot of these things. Yes, we're not getting as many challenges as we used to on a weekly basis. I mean, we were getting, 500 atoms worth of challenges? Is that roughly it? If it was let's say 250 challenges worth of... Let me just collect these last couple one before I do any math. Captain Cosmos, the fireplace. The fireplace secret door is actually one of the things that I really wanted. The power armor, and here the lag is still a little better, but not that bad. Or sorry, not as bad as it was before. It's still kind of rough. The Captain Cosmos power armor, I kind of like it, but again, I don't use power armor. So here, let's get one. And we get a quick screenshot of that too. Legendary Run bundle. Boom. Claim. Legendary reward. Congrats. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So as I hover over this, and the frame rate is still a little low. I don't know what's going on with this. I was kind of mentioning that even if we were getting, let's say 50 atoms in challenges worth a day, let's just say that was the amount. Sometimes, I guess it varied, but if you got 250 at the end of the week, you did your challenges, maybe came close to 500 atoms. Let's just say that's if you almost did perfect. You might have gotten more. I'm just using rough numbers here. That's basically $5 free of atoms that we would get a week. Now that I've claimed all this, right, I can take a look and, for example, see that I just got all these different things popping up. I gained 2K atoms, right? So 2K atoms over, let's say, and I think there was even more that I claimed prior, but let's say around 2K atoms over the 10 weeks is a huge difference, right? We're really not getting as much as we used to. And just quickly looking at a couple other things that I did receive, my caps, right? So now I received, 6,000 caps roughly. My script, I had almost 300. I got, let's say, more than 600. And again, I claimed the first 7 or so things, and they may have also had some of these resources, but that's a good amount of resources. We're no longer getting, that big boost of atoms weekly, but you're getting all these throughout the season, and you're getting other things. The caps, it's nice, it's not a lot. So mid-game, end-game players look at 6K very differently as opposed to somebody that just started the game. And after so many weeks of playing, even if they're a low level, if they've been keeping up with Legendary Run, they might have a good amount of caps to work with. So that's definitely a good incentive for lower levels. And the same thing with script, right? So the faster you can get somebody with script, maybe they can roll out their luck and maybe get something decent to level. Um, and then kind of going back to the whole, they're giving you these resources, they're giving you these currencies, they're giving you scrap kits, repair kits, um, and to kind of keep that in mind, if they're giving you all this, it kind of offsets the idea of like you need to buy certain things. I'm happy that a lot of, I guess more of the popular items are going to be available next season. You can buy them with gold bullion and stuff like that. So I think that's actually pretty cool. That's a very good way to cycle things in and avoid any criticism of saying like, oh yeah, you like I really want that, but if I want that fireplace, so I don't know if the fireplace store is going to be available. I have to double check, but let's just say that as an example. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to, go halfway, hit rank 50, and then buy 50 ranks to get that fireplace. Let's just say, but you don't have to do that. When I actually started the legendary run this season, I had missed at least 3 days worth of challenges where I just straight up was busy and I was like, I'm not going to go nuts. And I already went into the mentality of I don't need to go through the legendary run every single day. I want to go about it in such a way that I can kind of test things out and apparently still have frame rate drop. I don't know why. Now that I've claimed everything, it's still laggy, but in any case, I wanted to make sure that I can run things and not have to, be sweating throughout the entire event. I don't want to have to go through and feel pressured to be on every single day, completing every single 7 out of 7, 6 out of 6, 10 out of 10. Anytime we got like a new challenge or a boost, I didn't want to have to feel pressure to do that because I knew it was going to like burn me out. And just with some of the events that we've done, even something like Fasnacht Parade, the second helping of Fasnacht Parade, we'll call it, was a lot of fun, but a lot of us burnt ourselves out. We just kind of nonstop ran that just because we wanted to get like everything. And that's to an extent, our fault as well. But when we see the ability to collect all these things and we don't want to miss out on anything, it's our first legendary run, things like that, we don't know what to expect. And then on top of that, there was bugs, and then people had auto completion. I mentioned that I had, 3, 4+ days that I didn't do anything. Uh, so those were just days that I straight up missed out on the event, and I could have just logged in, joined a group, and maybe gotten something or bought something from a player and got easy, let's say, score points. But again, I wanted to make sure I didn't like go nuts on that. I did have only 1 day of auto completion where I didn't get credit for anything, and I was online at that point, and then I watched everything roll over, and I saw the challenges repopulate, but then they said they were all auto completed. And that happened once, and that was recently, and it was kind of frustrating while watching it. So if that's a piece of advice I could give is maybe next season as these things roll over, find out whatever time it is uh, near you to see when it resets, and just don't be online during that point. Give it a good, 10 minutes or so until you jump back in. So after the hour, let it reset, and then come back in, like just leave the game entirely kind of deal. Um, hopefully that's a guarantee of avoiding that as an issue if you're live. Because I do know people logged in after that point and it had auto completed. And things we have to keep in mind, Bethesda responded to those bugs by even giving us additional challenges for us to complete. Those additional challenges that we're completing are a good way to show that they're listening, and they're like, here, our bad, we can't, retroactively give you all these that you've lost, because that would be impossible to do for the amount of people complaining. And who knows how long it would take to actually track down who's got what. But they did the right thing. They were like, here, let's give you even more of an opportunity over so many days to get even more than you were originally going to get. And this is kind of a lot of feedback that they're taking in. And even feedback, like they've recently said, they're looking to basically make next season, the same amount of challenging, if you'll call it, or less. They're going to try to make it where people don't have to go as nuts. And then things like you can spend maybe like gold bullion to purchase certain unlocks, or whatever you're unlocking on the board, is a really good way too to make it where, all right, if you miss out some, you're fine. I would say there's people in my community that started up the legendary run later. There's people that I know that kind of have been on a little bit of a break from Fallout, but then decided to jump in after the season started, and they're not doing bad at all. They'll get very close, and I don't know if any of them will decide to, purchase the last 10 ranks for 1,500 atoms, if that's the breakdown, because it's what, 150 per rank. If that's the case, I mean, I'm not gonna mock them. I'm not gonna say like, you're pay to win, you're a wallet warrior or anything like that. I don't think that's too crazy. I think anybody that's like, here, I got 50 levels, let me spend, money on the next 50. I think that'd be ridiculous. I don't think anybody's doing that. I do know that there was also someone else in my community that I think went from 85 to 100. They purchased, let's say, 2,000 atoms worth of levels, and they thought that the Legendary Run was ending sooner, and they kind of like jumped the gun too quickly, and now they know for next time. So I would say anybody that's ran through this Legendary Run, if you know your pace, I would say keep up with the pace that you put in terms of for the challenges and trying to complete stuff daily, but don't go nuts. Don't get burnt out on the game. Don't make it where your character is on every day trying to complete challenges, and then the second you finish the last one, you're like, all right, fine, I can get the hell off this game and play the next thing. That's something that I wanted to avoid, and I went in with the mentality of if I don't go nuts, and if I miss some days kind of on purpose, if I luckily I only had one autocomplete again, and I kind of knew if I had multiple days autocomplete, I'd be able to come back and tell people, all right, listen, if you miss this many days, you'd still be good to complete it. And there was days that I didn't get every single challenge. I mean, I'm very grateful that some of these challenges are related to like, buying things in workshops, building things in workshops. I'm sorry, buying things in camps, building things in workshops. This one's a great one because I think this actually has a long-term kind of like use to it. Kind of forcing people to go to camps, like kind of forcing people to play closer together in this giant sandbox. Um, and I mean, I've found pretty decent stuff recently because of being forced to hop around and get this challenge quickly. So this is good. I mean, I'm very happy with the direction that challenges went in. A lot of them are easier. I mean, nobody can really say that these are challenging. And if at this point you're newer to the game and you're doing these challenges and you're like, oh, I can't do some of these things. This is crazy. Whatever the case is. Uh, just be lucky that you don't have to go to uncanny caverns and take a picture of a cave cricket. Be lucky that you don't have to go chase, various creatures across the map and kill them right after a bunch of other people have killed them. Go kill a Wendigo and Wendigo cave. Go do this. Go, things that you go hopping from world to world and it takes you more time. Uh, so that's like the underlying like issue, and I would say certain things that have been addressed with the difficulty of challenges. I do hope that people kind of take note to that. Um, but in any case, I would say this has been kind of eye-opening, especially that I'm still getting lag. I thought it was going to get worse or better throughout the season. I was like, okay, it could get better, it could be the same. It could get better as I claim all these. It definitely got worse. The lag got worse, but this is pretty bad. I don't know what's going on with this. This is I'm gonna have to maybe submit a ticket to Bethesda or send this directly to them. But I do hope you guys peeking through some of these items that I've claimed and kind of the math that I'm providing. Again, I said like roughly 2K atoms, roughly 6K caps, and then more than 600 script that you're collecting. I'm going to make sure that I put good use to all these resources that I've also received. I'll open up those little supply crates, and I have at the same time 24 basic repair kits. I'll use those, I guess, more quickly than others. The scrap kits, I don't really, again, care about these. I need to cut some weight, so I'll probably go through those. Alright, so I do hope you guys found that informative. I hopefully will be back here at the Rusty Pick buying some Purveyor stuff in bulk around the time of the half-off Purveyor sale. If by some craziness we don't have that Purveyor sale, I'm still going to roll the items and all the script that I've been saving up between multiple characters. I do hope that's going to be informative. I recently got the Bloody Explosive Fixer as my best roll that I've ever gotten from the Purveyor. I need to see if I can get something similar. Who knows if I'll get better. We'll keep our fingers crossed, but you guys keep an eye out. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it informative. If you're newer to the channel, definitely don't forget to subscribe. Keep an eye out for more videos like this. Browse the page, see other things. And if you want to ask any questions, don't hesitate to poke around in the comments. Let's say pick my brain or jump into stream. The link will be in the description if you want to come by, ask some questions. Don't hesitate. But In any case, you guys take it easy, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, everybody.